Hey Browns fans, we've got a showdown with the Minnesota Vikings and we have a lot to talk about when it comes to that game. But before we dive into today's analysis, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss any Browns news. Let's get to it. Okay, so the Browns faced the Minnesota Vikings in their penultimate preseason game, and it was a tough one. The final score was 27-12, and unfortunately, turnovers were a big issue for us. The Browns got off to a shaky start in the second half, which, let's be honest, felt a lot like the first. Shortly after kickoff, veteran backup Tyler Huntley led the offense down to the Vikings' 11-yard line. Things looked promising until a misplaced pass from Huntley was intercepted by Dwight McLaughlin and returned an incredible 90 yards. Huntley was able to chase it down, saving a pick six, but the Vikings still capitalized with a touchdown pass from Jaren Hall to Malik Knowles. That put us in a tough spot early on. Now, Huntley had a rough day, but he wasn't the only one. The Browns' offense struggled to find a rhythm, even when Huntley's pass was tipped and somehow caught by Jaylon Darden, giving us a much-needed third down conversion and 16 yards. It still wasn't enough to turn the game around. Cade York managed to make a 33-yard field goal to pull within 10 points, making it 20-10, but that was as close as we got. After a few punts from both teams, the Vikings struck again. Hall found Jeshaun Jones for a massive 71-yard touchdown, extending their lead to 17 points. The Browns' defense tried to come into its own. Chris Williams came up with a strip sack on Matt Corral, pushing the ball out of the end zone for a safety. And let's not forget, the special teams recovered a fumble on the ensuing kickoff, giving us a glimmer of hope. But once again, that hope was quickly dashed when Huntley threw his second interception of the day, ending any chance of a late comeback. That made it 3 turnovers in the game, all interceptions, definitely not the performance we were hoping for. But before we wrap up, I want to hear from you, Browns fans. What do you think of our performance so far? Are you worried about turnovers, or do you think we'll bounce back for the regular season? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. This game took a toll on the Browns. Our offensive line took a serious hit, with 3 backup tackles suffering injuries. This is the kind of news that makes every Browns fan hold his breath, especially with the regular season approaching. Tony Grossi, one of the most trusted voices covering the Browns, tweeted out the account of what happened. James Hudson is out with an ankle injury. Jermaine Ifedi just went to the locker room, and Hakeem Adeniji was shaken up after a 90-yard interception return. That's 3 of our backup guys going down in one game. Not the kind of momentum we want heading into the season. Now, we're still waiting for updates on the severity of these injuries. The team has yet to release any detailed reports, but it's clear that our depth at the offensive tackle position is dwindling. This is especially concerning when you consider that Jedrick Wills Jr., our starting left tackle, is still recovering from season-ending knee surgery in December. Wills is a crucial part of our line, and without him at full strength, the pressure on our backups becomes even more intense. Let's not forget how important a solid offensive line is to this team, especially with Deshaun Watson back on the field after his own season-ending shoulder surgery last November. Watson's success this season will depend heavily on the protection he receives, and right now, that protection is looking a little shaky with these injuries piling up. Remember, Browns fans, we were once known for having the best defensive line in football. That line was the backbone of our offense, opening up lanes for the running game and giving our quarterback the time he needed to make plays. But things have changed since then. Injuries have started to take their toll, and we can't forget the departure of our legendary offensive line coach, Bill Callahan. He was with us for 4 seasons and built this line into one of the best in the league. Now, he's with the Tennessee Titans, working with his son, head coach Brian Callahan. His absence is definitely being felt. So what does all of this mean for us as we prepare for the season opener? Well, it's clear that our offensive line will be a big focus in the coming weeks. We need to get healthy and get it fast. If these injuries are serious, the Browns front office may need to start looking to bring in some extra help. It's not the situation we want to be in, but it's the reality we're facing. Now, I want to hear from you, Browns fans. How concerned are you about these injuries on our offensive line? Do you think we have the depth to handle it, or should we be looking to bring in some new faces? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. During our second preseason game, Chubb was seen on the sidelines, looking as focused and determined as ever. You all remember that serious knee injury he suffered in Week 2 against the Steelers last season, right? That was a brutal blow. Chubb has been working hard in his rehab, sharing glimpses on social media of him squatting heavy amounts of weight and getting back into those quick sprints and hard cuts. It's clear he's putting in the work, and we're all excited to see him back in action. Chubb spoke with a Browns reporter and gave us some insight into his recovery. He said, "I feel good. Every day I come in here, I'm moving better and feeling better." And while he didn't commit to a specific return date, he did add, "I don't have a specific return date in mind. Just taking it one day at a time, working to get faster and stronger every day." What do you think, Browns fans? Are you guys as excited as I am to see him back on the field? Let's talk about Chris Williams. In the closing moments of our preseason matchup, with the Browns trailing 27-10, Williams made a play that caught everyone's attention. Now, we all know the game didn't go our way, but this moment was a bright spot. It was late in the game, and the Vikings were stuck deep in their own territory, facing a tough 3rd and 16 from their own 9-yard line. It was the kind of situation where big plays are made. The Vikings tried to make things tough with a play-action pass, but Chris Williams wasn't having it. As the offensive line slid to the left and Vikings quarterback Matt Corral rolled out, Williams pounced. He read the play perfectly and, with a quick burst of speed, was in the backfield in no time. The result? A sack in the end zone, earning the Browns a safety. That's right, 2 points on the scoreboard, making it 27-12. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's just a preseason game, and we still lost. But moments like this are crucial for players who are fighting to make the final roster. For Williams, this wasn't just another play, it was a statement. Here's a guy who's been grinding it out since going undrafted in 2020, bouncing around practice squads with the Colts, Chiefs, and now the Browns. This safety wasn't just a fluke, it was the result of years of hard work, perseverance, and dedication. Williams' performance in this game could be the springboard he needs to secure a more permanent role on our roster. With the regular season approaching, we're looking for depth and reliability on the defensive line, and Williams has shown he can provide just that. Plays like this are what coaches remember when they're making those final decisions, and you have to think Williams just earned some serious consideration. So, what's next? The Browns have one more preseason game remaining, and it's against the Seattle Seahawks at Lumen Field. This will also be the preseason debut for our starting quarterback, Deshaun Watson. All eyes will be on Watson as he tries to lead the Browns to their first preseason win. Kickoff is set for 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so mark your calendars. So, Browns fans, what do you think? Does Chris Williams have what it takes to make a lasting impact on this team? Can he bring that same energy and playmaking ability to the regular season? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this analysis, hit the like button and subscribe. We have more content coming your way as we get ready for the season, so stay tuned. Let's go Browns!